Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm 17 years old. By most standards, I would be considered very conservative. I am against abortion, against stem cell research, against strong federal power in pretty much any case, against the education bureaucracy, for lowering taxes, and very pro-military. Supported the wars in both Afghanistan and Iraq from the beginning. And I still think our soldiers over there are fighting a noble cause. I'm very much in favor of Second Amendment rights. On most social issues, I will fall on the more conservative side. I support Ron Paul for president in 2008. When I first saw him, I didn't take much notice of him. I thought that he was more like a McCain Republican who was a Republican in name only. But the more I see of him, the more I'm convinced that he makes the others look like Republicans in name only. Republicans have always claimed to stand for limited government interference in our daily lives and limiting federal power. Yet 8 years of a Republican administration has brought us such things as No Child Left Behind or the Patriot Act, both of which enhance the government's power greatly, both of which have been blindly accepted, and both of which I do not support. Emotional appeals proves absolutely nothing. But watching the Republican debates closely, it seems that most of the Republican candidates have little else but emotional appeals. Though I stand by my earlier statements about the war in Iraq, to say that terrorists hate us because they hate us and they've always hated us and they always will no matter what is an ignorant and simplistic view. This is the real world with real issues and real complexities, and we can't look at everything black and white all the time. We have to look at ourselves eventually. Yet when Ron Paul does this, he gets attacked as an anti-American traitor. This isn't right. Something's not right there. Of course, there's a lot of other issues that make me support Ron Paul for president beyond just the war in Iraq or the foreign policy. There's many other issues where I believe he is the only one that represents true Republican values of limited government and standing to the original intent of the Constitution. I would encourage every one of you watching this to at least research Ron Paul just a little bit before you make assumptions based on what you see in the media. I believe that Ron Paul is the only Republican candidate that actually stands by the Republican ideals. I also believe he's the only Republican candidate that actually says the truth without clouding it in flowery phrases about freedom and truth and justice and democracy. Problem is, for me, and I'm sure a lot of his other supporters, I won't be able to vote in the primary election. I will be able to vote in the general election, but I will be old enough when the primaries come, and that is Ron Paul's greatest challenge, is getting past the Republican bureaucracy and getting nominated and actually getting a chance to run on his platform that so many of us support. If you support him enough to make a YouTube video or to post a link to his website or to tell someone, argue with someone or anything like that, please, if you're old enough to vote, get out and vote in the primaries. It's time to stop being a nation of sheep that just blindly follows emotional appeals. We need to get out there and make our voices heard.